good news, these have turned up. These are brilliant. Huge taps, faucets, valves, call them what you will. Originally I bought these, I bought 3 in the end. I'll put a link below. But it was cheapest to buy this was the adapter. Now, the adapter was for the other fitting. If you remember rightly, getting attacked by bugs and spiders. If you remember rightly, in my other video, if you've seen it, I'll put a link above there. You'll see it there or below in the comments, the description, sorry. I did a video on my Bestway pool where I cut out the old adapters and put in the new fittings. So I cut a hole in the pool, port A and port B. What I was going to do originally is keep those fittings there and buy these taps. They took ages to come through, it took a couple of weeks to come through, but you do get the adapter there. See that adapter there? The idea is that adapter goes on the small port on the Bestway pool into the bigger pipe work, 2.5 inch or 38mm, whatever they call it. This bigger stuff. But this is the Intex stuff for the big, ginormous Intex pump I've got over there. You may not need a pump that big, but they are brilliant. You can get an Intex one similar to that, but smaller. We got that one in a bit of a deal. Although it does take loads and loads of sand or glass balls or whatever. So anyway, this tap, I was going to use this adapter, but we thought there'll be a bit of a bottleneck there. Maybe this pull collapsed and broke. I've got another spare pull over in the corner there. I could quickly put this on without cutting holes, etc. But next year we'll be getting a bigger pull anyway. But to cut a long story short, these adapters I no longer require. This little adapter here, I no longer need. So I'm going to keep these as spare, as backup. So if I undo that, as I say, it was cheaper to buy the taps with the adapter than without. And obviously I changed my mind. So I've got a rubber washer there, rubber gasket there. That's gonna go back in the bag. We'll keep that safe. That's got a rubber gasket, rubber washer in there. Now I know this fits because I've got this spare pipe which I bought. Now I've got another one that's coming through because at a later date I've got 3 taps. 1 tap for port A, 1 tap for port B. The 3rd tap will be for my on-off for the skimmer. Fantastic thing about these is if you're filling back the pool, topping it up, draining it down, doing everything with your pump, cleaning your pump out, and you need to do any modifications, add any pipe work, cut bits, you can just shut that off. Never ever shut it off, run your pump. Do not run your pump dry. Always have it on. But once these are on, you're laughing. It may cause the pool to dip a bit like that because of the weight. But I might print, you can get supports, but I might 3D print a support for that. But basically that, this is a spare pipe by the way, I just wanted to make sure I got the right size. It squashes in, like so, in the rubber gasket and then does up a lovely tight seal. So I know it's the right stuff. So now I need to put that onto here. And I'll bring the camera down, I'll undo this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move the chair away. I'm just going to show you this port B. I won't do port A, I'll do that off camera because there's no point in filming both. But get both taps on. Nice bit of kit. As I said, I'll put a link below. What I'm going to do, I was going to use plastic bags, but I reckon I'll be able to just cover the holes with my hand and just do it quickly. So what I'm going to do first of all, shut that down. Right, so it's off, it's locked. And then I'm going to move the camera back because I've got a feeling it's going to flood. I'm going to undo that, try and get this on, and then put the pipe on after. Right, let's do that now. Yeah, let's hope we don't lose too much water in the pool and I don't get soaking wet. But I've got my old Crocs on, no socks and shorts, so wish me luck. They come in a packet like that, by the way. 3 pieces. So you might be able to get them a little bit cheap without the adapter bit, but I'm not sure. So I've got to try and get that off, put my hand over, and then screw this on. There's a couple of screws while I'm here. It's weird, they've split the pieces and put a screw there and a screw there. So maybe you can loosen them up, screw it on and tighten them up. Undo this. Put that on top there. Got my hand over it. That's all right. Then put this on. Oh God, I can't get it on. Oh. Trying to. It's got threaded. Oh God, the tap gets in a flipping way. You've got to get it on square. Come on. Maybe I have to undo the screws. It ain't working. I don't know what I've done. Is I'm stuck now. Come on. Oh, you bastard. Oh. Oh. Come on. The pocket tap's getting in the bloody way. Oh. I need help here. Go on, square. Go on, square, you bastard. I've got, that's it, gone. Oh my God. Right. I think. God, I can't do it. You dickheads. Oh. God. That goes on easy. Oh. Jesus, what have they done? Right. God. I think what they've done, like I said, they've made it slightly out of round because they split the nut and put 2 screws there. So I think you have to undo those little screws. Oh, what have they done that for? I think you've got to undo that screw there slightly. Undo both screws, screw it on tight, and then do it back up. So I get a little screwdriver now. Jesus Christ. Right, plan B. Oh, screwdriver, undo this little screw. Pulls it apart a little bit, undo the other screw, the other side. There. And it pulls, should pull that apart. Make sure the tap's still switched off. Alright, it's not pulled it apart much. Right, let's give it another go. Hopefully that screw on. It's a stupid idea, I don't know why I've done it. No, it's a safety feature. Right, here we go again. God, these go on lovely, these pipes. Oh, come on, right. It's weird. That's it. That's it, that's gone on. That's better, it's gone on. Happy days. Right, that's got to be up at the top. I can let go now, I think. That's better. That proves that works. Just get that square like so, and then tighten that up. Right. Shame it's ending up with screws underneath. You can't see it. It's just leaking. It's got a bit of a leak there. Slowing down. That's good. And now it enables me to put, when I put a skimmer in here, cut the skimmer when that comes through the post. I'll cut a hole there, or a hole there. I can just shut this off. Connect the other pipe on and the T-piece. I'll show that in another video. So make sure you like and subscribe, by the way, or subscribe at least. So click the little bell, you get notification when the next video pops up. Because what I want to do, cut a hole there or a hole there for the skimmer. Put a T-piece on, put the other pipe on. So I want to try and tighten it up more. Like so, nice and tight. I don't think I need to do these screws up. I will do them up a little bit just to... So, they'll end up underneath. Bit of a pain. Typical. For the old Bestway pull, there you go, that'll do. That's not too bad. Now, we put this on. Now you have got, if you can see it there at the bottom, an O in there, so you need to ease that into the pipe. Okay. So it goes on like so. Then you do that up. And that pulls, oh, where's it going? That's better. Go on. In the faucet up. I think that's going to tighten then. That pulls it in. It's better. Make sure it's pushed in like so, because you've got an O-ring which is tight. It goes inside. Alright. Like that. Nice and tight. And obviously that's off. It's got a little padlock light, padlock picture there on top. With an arrow pointing towards the padlock, that's off. When you turn it on, obviously the water flows through. Make sure you have that on when you're using your pump all the time. Never turn it off while your pump's running. There you go, it's lovely. That's good. Right, I'm going to do the other one, then we'll switch them back on. Right, obviously I know now, and you know, that you got to undo the screws on that threaded piece. So I'll keep the adapter. I'll keep this adapter. As I said, that goes on. I think that should go on a Bestway pull, standard fitting, if you ever want to get a bigger pump. And then you got that there. But you can either buy that separate, or you can buy the pipes, the tap separate, the faucet separate, the valve separate, whatever you want to call it. Or it worked out for me cheaper for some reason to get both. So I bought a packet of both. As I say, I bought three, one for port A, one for port B, one which is inlet and outlet. And then also, I've got another one, because when my skimmer comes through, I'm going to adjust the pipe work a little bit, so you'll see that. Right, I'm just going to do the other one, and then I'll be back. Right, there you go. So that one's fitted now. I've tightened it up. There's a tiny leak from the top here, so I just had to tighten that up on the top there. A bit of a nightmare to get on, they were. I didn't cover the end up inside, I just went for it and put that on. Got water everywhere, covering water, and I got a bit in my bloody nuts. That's tight, that's tight, that's tight. Now what I'm going to do now, that's locked, but I'm going to open it up. I don't want anyone running the pump dry. And I've got this one done, which is the one I did first. I'm going to open that up. Again, I don't want it running dry. The probably a bit low now, because I did lose, oh no, it's okay. Lost a little bit of water, but I'll get that top up. That's better. Look, two nice taps there. One there. And one there. So that's it, I've got the two taps fitted. I'm well pleased with them. It took a week and a half to come through. I'm getting a bit of my bloody nuts. Both taps are switched on. As I say, I don't want anyone coming out here running the pump when I'm not here. And the taps are switched off. And it'll be running dry. So, you know, just as long as it's on the open position, there's a padlock picture on the top, open padlock. Make sure it's on the open padlock on both of them. Water runs down and through and back out again. I've checked for leaks. They're lovely. Now, the idea is, this pipe, I've got another short piece like this coming through the post with the skimmer. So what'll happen is, when I go to fit the skimmer, I can cut hold of the skimmer, attach to the pipe work. I've got a T-piece as well, already got that through the post. I can simply turn the tap off, both taps, shut the filter down, turn both taps off, and cut the hole, attach my T-piece, put the skimmer on, get it all connected back up, turn the taps back on, turn the filter back on, and the skimmer should be up and running. And I ain't got to fiddle about and mess about with this lot. So that's the idea. I'm just worried that I don't want people touching these taps. So I have to give a few instructions to people. Yeah, looking forward to next summer. I know it's a long way off yet, but I'm looking forward to next summer when I get the big, solid, rectangular pool. I get this all fitted on that. That will be the nuts. Till then, don't forget, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.